today at Koskinen, a near sellout, just packed. And they are ready to get it on, and we're going to see two of the top face-off men in the country and two of the top face-off men really over the last 3 years in college lacrosse. Jake Naso wins it from Petey Lasalla, first possession of the game to the Duke Blue Devils. Both these Fogos will stay on too and generate quick offense, as Naso tried to do it hitting Williams, but it bounces off his stick and it'll be a turnover.
Then we talk attack.
You see 16 games in a row with the goal for Williams. Ball hits the official in play. Big battle for it in the middle of the field. Duke comes out of there with it. Tyler Carpenter quickly gets to McAdory, who whistles it wide.
This is the pace though, right?
Rowe with a goal for the big junior from Bayshore, New York. Face-off violation against Petey. Naso's off to a great start at the dot for Duke. Third in the country. C.J. Kirst is like on a different planet right now for Cornell. Top that category. Another face-off violation, second here in the early going, Clark, against Petey.
That's 4 wins for Duke to 0 for Virginia. Like I said earlier too, this is a matchup head-to-head. Petey Lasalla.
Face-offs, 2 of them on violations, as Petey's now trying to anticipate the whistle, and he does a great job that time, winning his first of the day. Chismar makes one man miss, gets it to Cormier. Blue.
6'4", 220, 230 pounders. And that's the way that he's recruiting. When he recruits, he wants to find guys offensively that could win one-on-one matchups to beat this team.
Yep. Naso's winning his one-on-one matchup in this first quarter. Lopsided at the face-off dot. Puts the hat back on, now back to the front line, ready for business, ready for this face-off. He's got to have 23, doing a little bit of a better job, and he wins this face-off. Loses the ball initially, but Castor tracks it down. Noon's looking for help. Going to get it in the form of Xander Dixon. Way to the second midfield line here for Coach Danowski. Naso really doing a great job against Petey today. Chismar chases him down, makes him give it up. Duke's converted on 5 of their last 8 shots. Really getting efficient looks. Petey trying to track down that face-off, but it ends up in a Duke lacrosse player's stick once again. Brower showing the athleticism.
Like when a lot of players go inside, Cotter, you could drive them behind. Good luck driving him behind. Like when he gets that inside presence, you're done.
Petey tried to get the shot off, but he was sandwiched in between 2 Duke defenders, and it ends up being a turnover. So, you know, that in that situation right.
You saw like all the alum athletes, non-athletes bringing back their families on a beautiful weekend down here. Sun splash day.
Great crowd. They're seeing a Duke team take control of this game against Virginia. It's 7-3. Great chance here. They make it 8-3. And it's Aiden McGuire, the freshman from Hingham, Mass, on that rope unit. Coach Danowski has been singing his praises, and he gets rewarded with an offensive opportunity and his 3rd goal of the year.
This guy looks the part. He plays the part. He's an offensive midfielder out of St. Seb's in Massachusetts. And I think the biggest change for Duke this season that people really don't talk about as much is the play of the short stick defensive midfielders. Jack Gray and Aiden McGuire have been difference makers in transition as well, because both of them were high-end recruits as offensive players, and it's not that easy to make that switch. Not every offensive guy can play defense, but when you can play defense at the midfield and you're an offensive guy, you give that boost in transition and the ability to strike.
Flag on the play. That's the 3rd face-off violation of the half against Virginia, so it'll be a 30-second penalty and another man-up situation for Duke. Virginia is just handing them opportunities here in this first half.
At 8-3. This is so critical for Lars Tiffany to figure out this game. And I say this because of the history.
For Duke today, Clark, amongst their 9 goals, and they continue to dominate possession, and Naso at the face-off dot's a huge reason. Then you're looking at
they beat Penn, they beat Yale. So at a conference, those
you see a lot of teams there, a little bit in a discussion for an at-large berth, and also, you know, you got Ivy League teams thinking about that tournament that you guys are going to be calling at Columbia in early May, where a team like Princeton, who's playing much better lacrosse now, might be thinking, we need to win that tournament. Or Yale even is thinking, we got to go in there and win that tournament. First goal since 11-11 here in this quarter.
There's Petey.
See, now he got it.
There he goes. Oh, the basic transfer.
This is it. This is what we've seen all half long, the mistakes that you just don't see very often.
Remember I mentioned that to Lars this week on our call too? You see sometimes Petey gets a face-off win, and it's a basic transfer to a Cormier or a Schellenberger, the pass, and it's a turnover, so all that work for nothing.
Look at Schellenberger on the ride.
Broke his stick. Quinn's going to lose his mind. Quinn, the Duke Blue Devils, he's over 60% career-wise against Duke. So that was the one thing you had coming into this game if you're Lars Tiffany. Like, Petey's going to be fine. We got to figure out the other things. Well, Petey hasn't been his best today.
And there's a look at Lasalla and Naso. So the one thing about Petey Lasalla, he is a warrior.
Oh,
so
always answers the bell.
No question. He has taken, how many draws? I'm just trying to think how many draws he's probably taken in his career. 1,400 draws?
Oh.
Somewhere in that neighborhood?
I mean, in every single draw, it's like a wrestling match, right? Like, what these guys must feel like on Monday morning or Sundays.
But here we
after
go.
Weekend games. Ouch.
Here we go. Naso again wins to start the second half. And Duke does a good job of not forcing it when they didn't have anything on the offensive end, and now settling in 6v6.
Now, the one thing defensively I think Virginia could do better too is communicating. You saw some mishaps with the pick game when they're playing defense, but also sometimes some premature quick fake, get the goalie to move, and can it.
Now another battle. Ground ball picked up by the Blue Devils. Gets it to McGuire. He'll sub out. Now this. Another violation against Petey.
You rarely see Petey get beat like this.
Right. That's his first violation of this second half. Remember, he had 3 in the first, so 3 violations.
Guys sliding, leaving guys open.
The other part of that, too, is the way Duke has played defense 6v6. Virginia needs fast break opportunities like the one they just got. The beautiful outlet to Kastner, finding one on the wing to finish it off. And Petey's not. And the lead is back to 4, Clark.
When you see a dodge like that from a freshman, you see confidence too, right? Like, he went to the cage with conviction.
Speaking of going to the cage, McAdory scores and makes it 2 in a row for the Blue Devils. He's missed a couple from that spot today. He wasn't going to miss that time.
A few minutes ago, Cotter, as Duke celebrates in the stands on a beautiful spring afternoon, I told you I didn't like his release. It was pure underhand. From the same exact spot, and I've seen Andrew McAdory do this before. This is the release I was looking for. It's a 3/4 over-the-top release to the bottom corner that is so hard to track, but more importantly, you have more control over that shot. When he's shooting pure underhand, the ball's flying all over the place. Plants his feet. That is a 3/4 beautiful release to the bottom corner. You change the levels on a goalie, but more importantly, you find your strength from a shot release perspective. That's where he should be shooting, because from there, next time you could go high. You have way more control. You have options when you shoot with that 3/4 release.
And this time it's Naso with a loose ball violation. A push against Naso, loose.
And I think the next level when you dodge is always to find out, like, what's the hand, the strong hand of my defender? Because you see how much they kind of lose momentum and they fight against the grain when you dodge against them to their offhand.
Duke has the advantage of the face-off dot, 17-5 in this game.
Let's bottle up April and May's weather.
This is what it's going to be about here in the fourth quarter. I mean, Petey Lasalla's got to give his team opportunities for quick offense, doesn't he?
Yeah, and if you look at the history of these two players, Lasalla has had the edge every single time they've gone head-to-head, except for today. Now, if you're a Virginia fan, what you can hang on and what you can believe in is the way Petey Lasalla has always had a short memory, and he's always played his best in the biggest moments, in the biggest spots. Starting his freshman year in 2019 when they won the national title, went head-to-head with T.D. Erlin, who won the statistical matchup, but Petey had 2 goals in that game and won some critical face-offs.
Violation against Naso. So face-off number 1 in this fourth quarter to Petey. Now Connor will shoot. Helm, no problem.
Guys with a one-on-one matchup with speed. You lose some midfield juice because McAdory's a guy that can make plays all over the field. But the importance of having that calming presence at the attack spot outweighed everything for John Danowski and staff.
Virginia had gotten it down to a 3-goal margin, but Duke has now taken it back out to 5. All kinds of scrapping in front. There's number 10. That is a Xander Dixon goal card if you've ever.
At the attack spot outweighed everything for John Danowski and staff.
Virginia had gotten it down to a 3-goal margin, but Duke has now taken it back out to 5. All kinds of scrapping in front. There's number 10. That is a Xander Dixon goal card if you've ever seen it. The quick hands in front of the crease.
Finishers only need a fraction of a second because of their mitts are so soft, and they know where the goal is without even looking at it. And this is Xander Dixon in a nutshell. Ball's flying all over the field. Bauer loses it, takes the hit, ball's loose, and a little backhand action to the far off pipe of William Helm. This is a thing of beauty. You could call it picking up the trash, call it whatever you want. I call it a sick goal, an awareness goal by Xander Dixon.
Maybe that gets him going too in this game. Look at what he's done all season long. 3rd in the country in goals per game at almost 4 per game coming in, and finally gets his first of the day.
You know, those finishers always have really, really soft hands, and when you have soft hands, you're able to adjust on the fly when the ball's on the ground. Like you can scoop, shoot all in one motion when your hands are really, really soft.
Petey, he wins this draw.
This is a short memory of Petey Lasalla. Mention it coming into the fourth quarter. Don't look at the stats.
Soliday spins. Thought he might take a shot. Instead, he gets it to Schellenberg. And
this is a backbreaker, Connor.
And Jack Gray does a great job of picking up the ball and just firing it into the empty net.
Yeah, he's looking right now just to clear the ball. Get it over the midfield.
And he has to hustle back. He knows he's out of position, and they're in a really bad hat trick for Schutz. All of them here in the second half, I believe. Petey. Big face-off. Can he pick it up? Ground ball goes to Duke. O'Neal will shoot. Man, that has a lot of mustard on it.
Caputo from the outside earlier in the second quarter with a rip. This time inside, Schelling with goals and assists. You're getting those complementary pieces.
Rare face-off win for Virginia in this game. They got to move quickly. Schellenberger, that's quickly. Finds Chismar, that's one back.
What a pass and what deception on the shot by Noah Chismar, who played attack in high school and wasn't expected to be a key contributor earlier in his career when he arrived on campus. But watch the shot. Look at this reception. Beautiful feed. Dips his head and his shoulders low and gets William Helm to beat. And you haven't seen a lot of that from Virginia. That's a beautiful one-time pass by Connor Schellenberger. Shizmar cans it.
Still life.
There is life.
Down 3:47.
Petey's got to win every face-off the rest of the game if Virginia wants to push this thing into potential overtime.
Well, that's 2 in a row. He rolled to take a shot and just didn't get anything on it. Convey gets possession back to Virginia, was worried about being offside.
Goals in 2 games against Duke. The beauty of it, though, is you could argue if you're Caputo, you've allowed your defense then to disguise and do other things. Defense is the face-off of all face-offs in this game.
It's huge.
Wow.
Petey wins it. Connor with possession for Virginia. No timeouts, as we just mentioned.
Gotta have backup if you're UVA. And what about Petey? Dominated all day in the biggest face-off of the day. He answers.
Oh, Cormier tried to flip it to McConvey. Loose ball picked up by Duke. Straight up in the air. O'Neal gets it, and Nunes robs him.
Why would you shoot that? You have the ball. That's the most important thing in this moment. Nothing's more important than bleeding this clock dry.
Connor. Oh, what a catch by Schutz to keep possession. Look at Schutz inside. Saved by Helm. 10 seconds left on the clock. Still time for Virginia. Dixon over to Connor. He's going to take a long shot, but Helm goes down to steal it. That's going to do it. What a finish here